That's what?
That's what you said.
Okay, so we're talking about inscribed angles. So before this lesson, we've talked about shapes that are inscribed. Like what? What shapes have we put inside the circle? Triangles, squares, rectangles. Okay, so we've talked about all these things that are inscribed inside of a circle, but we've never talked about an inscribed just an angle. So what this is that it's an angle. So here to here, this is an angle, and it's inscribed inside the circle. Okay, so angle 1 is the angle inside of this circle. What makes this an inscribed angle is the fact that all of its points are on the edge of the circle. Every single point is on the edge of the circle. Also, how many chords does it make?
2.
2. There's 2 chords from here to here and here to here. Now previously, now I'm going to try to draw a circle, so y'all just might look like an oval. Yep, what I tell you. Okay, so previously, we talked about what the angle measure and the arc are like if it's in the center. So the difference in today's lesson is that your angle is not in the center, your angle is on the outside. Because if this is 47, what's the measure of the arc? 47. But today's is different because it's not in the middle, it's on the outside. So here is how this works. In circle G, do you see circle G?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. We have to draw it.
I thought you meant
That was a
like
trick
right
question. Oh. Okay, trick question. Draw a circle. G is obviously in the middle. Here's E. D is on the outside. F is on the outside. Okay, that's supposed to be there.
Did you trace the circle?
I did trace the circle that was behind it. Okay, here's how you find either the angle or the arc when you're given one or the other. It's different. It's not always the same. If this angle measure, well, let's start with this. If this arc's measure is 90, the angle is just half of it. So the angle is going to be 45. Okay, it's just half. If whatever the angle is, to find the arc, you have to double it. To find the angle, you have to half it. So if this is 90, then your angle is 45. Look at example number 1. How many inscribed angles do you see? 2. I see 2. I see this angle and this angle. It wants you to find the measure of angle X. It wants you to find this one. Well, first of all, you need to look at its arc. Its arc goes from Z to W. And the arc is how many degrees? So the measure of your angle X is just going to be half of that, which is 43 degrees. That's it. You're just working back and forth. So on number 2, you want to find the measure of YX. Well, that's an arc. What's the angle that goes with that arc?
52.
So we have to double it. So since the angle is 52, the arc is going to be 104.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, it's still degrees. Because we're not finding the length. We're just finding the measure. Okay? Try 3ABC. Try the rest of these. You're either dividing or doubling. Check your answers when you're done. Good? Okay, let's go to the next page. Different page, different topic. Well, it's a little bit different. This theorem at the top is called the congruent inscribed angle theorem. That probably means some things are going to be congruent. Congruent inscribed angle theorem. Okay, so let me kind of explain this to you. We have these two angles. We have angle C and angle B, and they are congruent. Here's why they are congruent. The chords of angle C are here and here, which means it goes with what arc? AD. It goes with this arc. Well, the chords from here to here go with which arc? Which means, since they have the same arc, they're the same angle. Okay? Well, what about these two angles over here? This has a chord here and a chord here, which means its arc is BC. And this angle has a chord and a chord, which means its arc is BC. So these are also congruent because they have the same arc. If they have the same arc, they have the same angle measure. If one of these is congruent, guys, the other one's always going to be congruent. If B is congruent to C, then A is congruent to D. And don't you remember that theorem back in like chapter 2, the third angle theorem? Yeah. If two of these angles are the same, then the third one's automatically the same. And what kind of angles are these? I heard it. Vertical. So they're either, you can say, well, I know they're congruent because they're vertical, or I know they're congruent because of the third angle theorem. If two of these are the same, the third is the same. So if you look at example number 4, you want to find angle R. Well, S and R are congruent. This is the same as this. Here's why. They both have the same arc of QT. Both of these chords lead to T and Q. Both of these chords lead to T and Q. Therefore, angle R is the same as angle S. So if we want to solve, just set them equal. 12x minus 13 equals 9x plus 2. Okay, I found x. Am I done? No, I don't just want to find x. I want to find the measure of angle R. So plug it in. $47. Okay, what two angles are the same over here on number 5? I and J. I and J are the same. What's H the same as? G. But do I need those two? No. So to solve for angle I just need to set these two equal to each other. Okay, look at ABCD. This circle right here, guys, this one goes with both of these. So this goes with both of these. This one over here goes with both of these. Okay, so it's kind of like split right here. Go ahead and try A, B, C, and D. These are the answers of what I got. Y'all good? Which ones do I need to do? Tell me. Y'all good? Am I going too fast? Do I need to give you another minute?
No, just that time.
Okay, I'm going to go to the next page. Are y'all good? All right, let's go to the next page. All right, so a couple more things that you need to know that are super important. Back when we did chapter 6, quadrilaterals, how many degrees are in a quadrilateral? 360. Because a quadrilateral is two triangles, and if a triangle is 180, double it, it's 360. So there's two important things you need to know on this last page. The first one, if an inscribed angle of a triangle intercepts a diameter, aka if one side of a triangle is the diameter. Look right here. One side of the triangle is a diameter. If one side of your triangle is a diameter, there's always going to be a right angle. If one side of your triangle is the diameter, there's always a right angle. Okay? Well, isn't that the largest chord we can possibly make? So that has to be the largest side, which means the angle, that is angle C, is always the largest side. Whatever's across from the diameter is your 90-degree angle. So this is 90. What else is 90? A, because this is a triangle, and its side is a chord. This is a chord, so A is a 90-degree angle. Okay, this second one, what this says, if a quadrilateral is in the circle, if there's a quadrilateral, its opposite angles have to equal, what's that mean?
180.
It has to equal 180. Well, isn't this a quadrilateral if you look at it as a big piece? So its opposite angles have to equal 180. Well, what's the opposite angles? A and? Well, do those equal 180? And then B and D have to equal 180. Okay, so those are the last two things you need to know. So look at this one right here. Which one's the right angle? Y. Yep. Why? Because it's across from the diameter. So, how many degrees are in a triangle? And how many did that just take up?
90.
How many are left?
90.
So, W and X have to equal 90. Do you see why? And I'm kind of making it a shortcut. If that bothers you, you can add them all up, set it equal to 180. But if there's always a right angle, then 90 degrees is always going to be taken. So shorten it a little bit. W and X have to equal 90. So to solve for X, you take whatever those two angles are and set them equal to 90. So X plus 12 plus X equals 90. 2x plus 12 equals 90. Subtract 90, or 12, sorry, subtract 12. Divide by 2. So x is equal to 39. Is that what y'all got?
Yeah.
Okay, well now 8 tells you have to find for solve for W. Well, W is x plus 12. So the measure of angle W is 39 plus 12, which equals 51 degrees. Okay, next one. Next one over here. What's the 90-degree angle? S, because it's across from the hypotenuse. So R and T have to equal how many degrees? 90. So to solve for X, you would add 2X plus 4X minus 6. Okay, the last four. It's a quad, so the opposite angles are supplementary. So Q and S have to equal 180. P and R have to equal 180. So to find R, I need to add R and P together and set them equal to 180. Then solve for X to get R. Okay, finish those four. Check your answers when you're done.
Oh.
What happened? Okay, let me tell everybody what their assignment is, and then I'll help you. Okay, assignment on the next page. Go straight down the left side. So it's not all odds, it's not all even. Straight down the left side. 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10. Straight down.